The North Carolina State Senate has approved a new congressional map favoring Republicans and a growing trend of redistricting efforts across the U.S. The state's move is part of an attempt to maintain the Republican majority in the House in next year's midterm elections. North Carolina's House is expected to approve the plan in a vote this week. State law prevents Democratic Governor Josh Stein from vetoing it. For more, let's bring in Anderson Clayton. She's the chair of North Carolina's Democratic Party. Thanks for being here, Anderson. So the Supreme Court appears poised to eliminate Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act that bans racial discrimination in voting. This is in a different case involving maps in Louisiana. What are Democrats planning to do in North Carolina or at the federal level?
I mean, we're going to fight back every step of the way. What we're seeing right now in North Carolina is no more than a partisan power grab that we've seen in places like Texas and in other red states across this country for Republicans to hold power in Congress. And in North Carolina, that looks like a statewide plan to take back the North Carolina State Supreme Court. And we currently sit at a 5-2 minority on the state Supreme Court. And so we have to make sure that we elect Justice Nita Earls in 2026. And we're going to make sure that we take 3 Republican seats that will be up on that court in 2028, because our state Supreme Court can also decide about partisan and racial gerrymandering and has done so before when we had a Democratic state Supreme Court in 2022. And that sent 7 Democrats and 7 Republicans on behalf of North Carolina to Congress, which was an even a 50-50 split to represent the state.
Let's talk about California, because Democrats there have launched a similar effort to counter what we're seeing. They want to shift 5 of their House seats to be more favorable to them. Voters are going to be deciding on that in 2 weeks. Do you support that, and do you want to see more of these efforts?
I believe right now we've got to meet Republicans at the mat and make sure that we are upholding voters' responsibilities across these states, because I think that right now it is just insane what we're seeing coming out of Republicans in North Carolina. They have spent 113 days refusing to pass a state budget, sort of like what we're seeing right now at the federal level with the 21-day shutdown right now that is impacting families and communities across our state. And instead of doing their jobs, they're going back to the state legislature to make sure that Donald Trump can maintain power, because they already know that his policies are unpopular enough to keep them out of majorities.
Anderson,
in 2020.
you say meet them at the mat, but do you think that Democrats right now are trying to play catch up? I mean, you're talking about 2028.
I mean, I'm talking about 2028 because Democrats have got to have a long-term game in the South. You just said it yourself that they're about to take away Section 2 of the VRA that's going to eradicate over 19 congressional seats from the South alone, a racist move by the Republican Party that we're seeing to target Black and brown representation across our region of the country. I also think that we've got to make sure that we're meeting them at the mat in places like California and in other states that are able to do that, until we can pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act nationally and repeal partisan and racial gerrymandering for good across this nation. Democrats do believe in fair and free elections, but Republicans right now are doing everything they can to disenfranchise voters across this country. And hell no, I don't think that Democrats should stand for it right now.
All right, Anderson Clayton, thank you for your time. And Jason Simmons, North Carolina's Republican Party chair, will be joining Major Garrett on The Takeout tomorrow. You can tune in at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on CBS News 24/7.